The unusual thing is that you are able to feel the surface level emotions of happiness and unhappiness while simultaneously being connected to the more profound aspect of existence. When someone close to you passes away, it is possible that you will shed tears. It's impossible to assert that I'm still happy. My mother has died, my father has died, my child has died, but I'm still happy. What does it mean to be happy? Even though you may be crying, you are at peace on the inside, even though there is a movement of melancholy on the surface, which we refer to as dissatisfaction. And then something wonderful occurs, and you say, "Oh, great, that's fine," but it does not cause you to feel ecstatic. One of the things that people believe would bring happiness to them is when something positive occurs to them, such as when they win the lottery. Oh, and just so you know, there have even been books published about it, as all of you presumably already know. Over the course of 5 to 10 years, the majority of people who win significant amounts of money from the lottery go through a phase in which their lives begin to deteriorate. They experience an increase in their level of unhappiness compared to their previous state. However, that is a different matter. If you are wholly reliant on the circumstances of the outside world to determine your level of happiness, then whenever something positive occurs, you will experience an extraordinarily intense high. There are times when you can witness someone who achieves something unexpectedly, and they exclaim, "Wow!" That is a sense of accomplishment, but it won't stay for very long. In contrast, if you are connected with being, you will continue to say, "Well, that's great," but this emotion will no longer be considered unbalanced. I was able to recall that Oprah was relating a narrative about me that I had completely failed to remember. She stated that on multiple occasions. I received a phone call from her many years ago on the power of now. It seemed to me that it had been chosen for a book club. Were you thinking about a new earth? It seems to me that it was a new earth. To put it another way, she called me and informed me that she had chosen your book. On the other hand, I responded by saying, "Oh, that's wonderful, that's great." Then she had the idea, "Well, that's strange, that's not how people normally react. And also, I want to do a seminar with you that lasts for either 6 or 8 weeks," she said after that. "We are going to do it together on a webinar about the book every week, and we are going to cover one chapter every week." "Oh, have you ever done something like this before?" I said. Her response was, "No, I haven't. This is the very first time." "Oh, that's wonderful," I exclaimed. "I'll see to it." Because she found that to be so peculiar. After some time had passed, she discussed the matter and stated, "When I called Eckhart, he just said, okay," with a chuckle. To add insult to injury, I hadn't heard from her in 2 years, which was possibly a couple of years later. It was as though she had forgotten about me. Therefore, this is applicable to anything, even something as simple as a thing. For instance, I suggested going on a stroll, a trek, or any other kind of excursion. To reiterate, in order to emphasize the importance of appreciating the current moment, even when you are working toward a goal, in order to ensure that the procedure, the action, is of a high quality. Something like that is an intriguing way of saying things. It is not because you are trying to get to another moment that you carry out an action. Rather, you are doing it intentionally in the current moment. You are giving whatever action you are performing at this very moment your whole and undivided mental attention. It is the step that you are taking right now and you are gazing about. This could be because you are on a hike. There is beauty in every direction. This means that you focus your complete attention on the action that you are performing. That is action of the highest caliber. Your actions in the here and now are the conduits via which consciousness flows. Moreover, the peculiar thing is that if that is the underlying condition of consciousness, you have a greater chance of being successful in whatever pursuit you are doing. When you are no longer in a state of desperate need to achieve, you will have a greater chance of succeeding. After that, you start to bring together the being dimension and the doing dimension in the activities that you are doing. Pay attention to the here and now. In comparison to the next moment, it is more substantial. Indeed, you have the desire to achieve your objective. Nonetheless, the present moment is of the utmost significance. A shift in consciousness is taking place. The most important thing right now is whatever it is that you are doing or doing at this moment. There is less significance placed on the arrival and the process of getting there. You are in need of it. It is beneficial, but it is not of primary significance. According to a legend, a Zen teacher was observing an archery competition in which the competitors were using large bows and arrows from the beginning. There was a well-known archery master, and he was not exactly performing up to his potential, but he was not succeeding in his endeavors. In addition, the master was observing, "Why isn't he doing well today?" the disciples said out of curiosity. The master then made a statement that was similar to this. His desire to win deprives him of power. The fact that he strives to be the best prevents him from being present. If I may put it another way, he is not completely present. He is not fully present in the act of doing, but rather he is concentrating on the result. This results in a decrease in the quality of the work. There is a change here. And the good thing is that not every activity that you do is going to be successful. To put it simply, that is the way things are. It's possible that you have some fantastic plans. Possibly you will never show up. Yes, that is feasible. When you visit Los Angeles, you will notice that all of the waiters and waitresses at some of the best restaurants are actors. But for the time being, they do not have a job to call their own. On the other hand, they are eager to arrive. It should come as no surprise that only a handful do, while the majority do not. Do you consider that to be a life wasted? Absolutely not at all. There is going to be something else. It could be an incomparably superior alternative than acting. But in the meantime, what are the steps that you take to carry out the activity that you are currently involved in? Are you able to appreciate the here and now? What would you like? Yes, okay, an omelet. After that, you bring it to the table, and you consciously place the plate on the table you just brought it to. There is a significant difference between this and a waiter who simply places it down and says, "Here you are." Consciously put it down on paper. Being slower than usual is not required. All that is required is a conscious effort. Afterward, you show respect to the other individual. "Is there anything else I can get you?" "Oh." Consequently, you are taking pleasure in even that, rather than muttering to yourself, "This is what I've arrived at finally." I am currently employed as a waitress, but I was always destined to be a famous celebrity. That being said, it is possible that their life will take a completely different path. It is the performance of the action that is currently being performed that serves as the beginning point. If this action is performed deliberately, it is far more likely to lead to the subsequent thing, whatever that may be. It's possible that it's completely different from acting. There may come a day when you will be glad that you were never able to achieve the status of a huge star in Hollywood. This is because you may realize that a significant portion of that is actually very phony. It is not necessarily the case that every single person in it is a fake, but a significant number of them are. As a result, The next step in the process of reconciliation is to bring together the doing and the being. The practice in question is advanced. During the time that you are involved in speaking and thinking, it is important to avoid being lost in the thinking process, often known as the mental stream. You are highly encouraged to give this video a like and share it with someone else who could benefit from experiencing something similar to what you have been through. If you found this journey and the concepts that were presented to be valuable, become a subscriber to this channel if you are looking for further motivation to help you plan for the future in your life. Let us collaborate in order to disseminate this message and proceed with our investigation of the underlying truths that bind us all together. In doing so, we will be creating the groundwork for a life that is more fulfilling and enlightened by consciousness.